Okay, welcome back. And time to put in the remainder of the push rods. You should have 3 push rods left, and if you don't have 3 push rods left, you're in trouble. So you should have 1 push rod that has a Z bend on it and a white tube left. The Z bend one has a little bend down here. This is for the nose wheel steering, and we'll set that aside, do that in a little bit. And the other 2 are they're about 33 inches long, thereabouts, plus or minus, and they're threaded on one end, not threaded on the other, which is exactly what we need. And so let me get these, one's for the rudder, one's for the elevator. Let me get them set up and I'll be right back. Okay, as you can see, I've got the 2 metal clevises installed with a nut behind each one and the fuel tubing on them, and so they're going to go in the back of the airplane first. In case you hadn't noticed, there's 3 tubes in the back of the airplane. One's for the elevator, one's for the rudder, and one comes out the bottom, which is, I think, if you have floats, it gives you a way to steer the rudder that would steer the floats as well as the rudder. Don't know how that works. Don't plan to buy a float for this thing. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so the push rod has an opening here in the side of the fuselage that it goes in, and if that opening is not nice and clear, use a hobby knife to cut away the film so that it slides in nice and easily like this, and slide it in far enough to get it close to the control horn. And next we'll take a look inside the cabin. Okay, I'm back, and as you can see, I've removed the 2 little bolts here that go into the quick connects, and I have the radio and the receiver on, and so I can move the rudder and I can move the elevator. Okay, now they're not connected, the clevises are not connected yet, so you want to start, you got a little maneuvering to do to get those in nice and straight. And if you need to move this arm a little longer so that one doesn't hit, so the rudder push rod doesn't hit that arm. Okay, and so once you get those in, and this one is going to be above that arm, which is all it needs, and so once you get it set up like this, you go ahead and connect the clevises in the back of the airplane. So I'm going to go do that and be right back. Okay, after you get the clevises on, you need to make sure that the rudder and elevator don't move. So I take 2 pieces of balsa, look like this, put a rubber band around it, and then you pull this open and slide it around the rudder, or slide it around the actually the horizontal or vertical stab, and it'll keep, there's a rubber band on this side, it's about 14-15 inches long, and it'll keep the rudder elevator in place. I'm going to go do that. I'm going to start with the rudder. Okay, so the rudder is being held mechanically by those 2 pieces of balsa and 2 rubber bands, and so I'm going to go ahead and stick this back in, which is the bolt to hold the quick connect down to the push rod. Now, I'm only going to make this, I'll call it finger tight. Okay, and that's finger tight enough. I'm going to take the 2 pieces of balsa wood off the rudder and move the rudder. And so I'm going to move the rudder to the right, and the rudder is going to the back to the right, so it's going in the right direction, so the reverse is right. So that's good. And I'm going to go full tilt all the way left, all the way right, all the way left, all the way right, all the way left, nothing binding. Okay, while I'm all the way this way, I'm going to move the elevator in the same fashion. Don't move the throttle. Okay, so this and that are not binding. Okay, so nothing's binding. Good. And now that the rudder is in place, let me stop a minute. I'll put my little holder on the elevator. Okay, the elevator is being held by my 2 pieces of balsa wood, and I'm just going to go ahead and install this quick connect bolt. Just finger tight enough to make sure it's in good position. Okay. And then I'm going to take the 2 pieces of balsa off and test the elevator. Okay, pulling back on the elevator, elevator is going up. Pushing forward on the elevator, elevator is going down, so up and down. So up makes the airplane go up, down makes the airplane go down. Alright, the push rods are long enough, or not too long. I'm going to leave them. I'm not going to bother to cut them. There's no need. And so now the these push rods are in place. The last push rod for the nose wheel I'll do when I do the nose wheel and main wheels. So I think the rudder and elevator and their push rods are all installed. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed this.